bill on the companies, the insolvency bill, the special economic zones that are going to be signed by the President, the business registration services, and the Companies and Insolvency Legislation, that is Consequential Amendment Bill, and the Finance Bill. So it's quite a great day for us.
On behalf of the private sector, which is very, very widely and ably represented here today, we congratulate you and thank you for assenting to the very many bills today, but especially the 3 key bills that touch and regulate our businesses. The private sector started pushing for both the Companies Bill and the Insolvency Bill way back in 2007, and the Special Economic Zones Bill since 2010. And in a record time, barely 2 years into your administration, we now have these as laws, and we thank you very much for that. But we wish to specifically acknowledge your leadership in listening to us at both the 3rd and 4th presidential roundtables. Your intervention and follow-up helped overcome the obstacles to the enactment of these bills by creating a framework of active consultation between the National Assembly, the State Department of Justice, and the Office of the Attorney General. These 3 bills will strengthen safeguards for business setup and regulation, provide greater clarity to investors on regulatory issues, and increase the attractiveness of Kenya as an investment destination. Since 2012, we have lobbied for the enactment of these bills through ministerial stakeholder forums, parliamentary departmental committees, and other forums, culminating in our meeting with you at the 2 roundtables. On the SEZ bill, let me first acknowledge that the new Special Economic Zones will be a first of its kind that will herald a new beginning for our country's industrialization journey. We applaud the Ministry of Industrialization for the efforts in getting this legislation enacted. On the Companies Bill 2015, this is a bold and ambitious step to cure past challenges that the private sector has faced over the years, including corporate governance. By legislating on protection of property and regulation of business, this bill remains very critical to ensuring corporate stability, which will support and strengthen entrepreneurship and investor protection. The simplified documentation required for registration, which now accommodates different models of articles of association for various companies, will simplify an otherwise complex documentation process at the registration stage and will help improve Kenya's competitiveness under the Doing Business Index, ease of doing business. With the minimization and simplification of the process of authentication of business registration documents, this law will reduce costs significantly for us as businesses. And by imposing a fiduciary duty and responsibility on directors, we have made a huge step towards ending instances where the directors of a company use their positions to benefit and enrich themselves unjustly, since theirs is a stewardship role to act in the best interests of the company. The Insolvency Bill 2015 represents a key element of legislative reform on the management of businesses facing liquidation. Kenya's insolvency legislation has in the past failed to aid the recovery of struggling businesses leading to a high mortality rate for those placed under receivership. KEPSA therefore welcomes the Insolvency Bill 2015 as one that will help develop a more enabling legal regime that transforms insolvency into a second chance for recovery to profitability rather than a graveyard for debtors. To conclude, let me say that the enactment of the bills is the first step to realizing the benefits that these laws portend. However, actual benefits will be achieved as we diligently implement these laws to the spirit that they are intended, and as KEPSA, we will continuously monitor challenges arising from their implementation and continuously seek your leadership where it is directly required to ensure we realize the full-scale benefits of these laws. Once again, Your Excellency, thank you very much for assenting to the bills and for all that you've done to bring about the celebration that we are about to have today. Thank you very much.